2025 has already been an insane year for all of us gamers, as we've stepped into some of the most breathtaking worlds that we've ever seen. From the gritty battles of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 to the stunning landscapes of Assassin's Creed Shadows, it feels like every month we're dropped into a brand new world. But this year isn't over, and some of the biggest open world games are still on their way, with a few of them also hitting Xbox Game Pass day one, so make sure to keep an eye out for that icon. With that though, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and today we'll go through the 15 huge new open world games still coming to Xbox in 2025. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around and see what's coming our way, as these games are pretty huge. Well, first up we have Borderlands 4, and it's releasing just around the corner. This time we head into the brand new world of Chaos, where 4 fresh Vault Hunters will rise up against the tyranny of what's called the Timekeeper. The story promises obviously rebellion-fueled mayhem, and early previews have shown off some great explosive gunplay and some wild new powers, and each of them look pretty insane. When doing a little bit more digging myself, I have also found that we're also getting a brand new endgame mode called the Ultimate Vault Hunter. This essentially scales enemies to your level across 5 brutal tiers, and then gives us tons more content upon finishing the story. I also love the addition this time of even more verticality to this game, as you can now glide, climb walls, and so much more. I have my fingers crossed though that this game will be as good as my personal favourite, that being Borderlands 2, and we don't have to wait long to find out. Survival horror fans, this next one is for you. Dying Light the Beast tears its way onto Xbox pretty shortly after Borderlands 4, and it's already being called the best Dying Light yet from early previews. This one though is set in the eerie Castor Woods, and this standalone spin-off blends the open world parkour we know and love, but with raw horror. It actually began life as a DLC, but then grew into a full release, making it the perfect jumping in point even if you've never touched this series before. Here's the kicker though, the game is going to be loaded with content, a meaty 20-hour main story, plus another 20 to 30 hours of side missions and exploration. It's pretty brutal, it looks incredibly atmospheric, and it really pushes the series into darker territory. Everything that we've seen so far gets me incredibly excited, and I can't wait to dive back into the shoes of Carl Crane. For a total vibe shift, here's Slime Rancher 2, and yes, it's the charming, cozy open world game that's as relaxing as it is adorable. The game is indeed out in early access at the moment, but the 1.0 launch is still set to land later this year, bringing with it a whole host of brand new content. Similar to the first game though, this one is actually set in the vibrant Rainbow Island, where you'll spend your time caring for your different slimes, exploring new biomes, and then ultimately uncovering the secrets of this colourful world. The sequel doesn't look to reinvent the wheel though, but it will double down on what made the first game so beloved, that being new slimes, hidden treasures, and plenty of quality of life upgrades to make ranching smoother than ever. It is the perfect breather game though between all of those sort of darker and heavier releases of 2025, but it's so incredibly addictive, and I have warned you. Now let's talk about the wild card on this list, Ark 2. On paper, this should actually be one of the biggest open world launches of the past decade, but here's the reality. Studio Wildcard have actually pushed the early access back to at least 2027. It was originally pegged for 2025, and Ark 2 now looks like a very long wait. That said though, the studio's keeping players hooked in the meantime with Ark Lost Colony, a massive expansion that's dropping later this year that actually ties directly into Ark 2's story. So whilst you may not be taming dinosaurs in Vin Diesel's survival epic just yet,
I got family,
the foundations are still being laid for the next entry. If patience isn't your strongest trait though, don't worry, the huge Lost Colony expansion has actually got a release window, and it will be landing onto your Xbox consoles this November. The Outer Worlds 2 finally launches this October, and yes, it will be a day one Game Pass drop, and I'm so bloody excited. This sequel takes us to a brand new colony named Arcadia, which is a fractured world torn apart by rifts and divided by 3 warring factions. Obsidian really is going all in though on that player choice from what we've seen so far. Every trait, flaw and decision also looks to ripple across the colony, and even the radio broadcast that you'll hear in-game. Weapons are as wild as ever before, from the returning shrink ray to new experimental toys. Previews really do praise as well the expanded character builds that let you go stealthy, brute force, nerdy, or even silver-tongued diplomats. It's packed with that lovely humour and satire that I absolutely adore, and the branching RPG depth Obsidian are known for is back again. I'm really curious though, how are you feeling about the Outer Worlds 2? You'll have to let me know, as I would love to check out your thoughts and have a discussion down below. Satisfactory is officially arriving on our consoles this November, and I know many within the Xbox community are actually extremely excited for this one. This first-person open-world automation game lets you harvest sprawling alien landscapes to basically construct epic assembly lines alongside customizing power systems and exploring with vehicles, jetpacks, and so much more. Since hitting its full 1.0 over on PC back in 2024, the game has now not only gotten bigger with updates, but has also added massive gameplay enhancements and blueprint improvements. Now, for the first time, all of us Xbox players will be able to dive into the creative tug-of-war between building the perfect industrial empire and just surviving that wild frontier. Whether you're obsessing over those different efficient layouts or wanting to jetpack off and explore the world, Satisfactory does promise hundreds of hours of addictive, satisfying chaos. Stepping back into political intrigue and supernatural lore, Greedfall 2: The Dying World is still set to release this 2025. This prequel though is really looking to flip the original script. You'll now play as an indigenous islander and thrust into the mainland's web of colonial scheming and mysticism. The game still keeps the third-person action RPG roots that were so good in the first game, but now expands them with diplomacy, stealth, party-based combat, and branching narrative paths. Early access impressions so far have already highlighted the deeper lore and some awesome tactical real-time combat. It is really shaping up to give players even more agency and freedom than we've ever seen before. Greedfall 2 is honestly shaping up to be a worthy evolution of this series, and I hope we get a firm release date very, very soon. Before we dive into the rest of the games, a massive shout out to you all watching. The support this year in 2025 has been incredible so far, especially as we ramp up to 100,000 subscribers. If you've been enjoying the video and you want to see more Xbox content and want to see me bring it to you every single day, then do subscribe down below, as it's free to do so and the support is massively appreciated. I've got a ton of big Xbox reviews, updates and exclusive breakdowns coming to you very, very soon, so stay tuned for more videos. Alright, with that, let's dive right back into these incredible open world games still coming to us in 2025. I highly recommend that you keep an eye on this next game. Sand is an open world PvPvE extraction shooter where you'll be commanding some massive walkers. These are essentially giant mechs built to dominate endless post-apocalyptic dunes. It's a hostile and ever-shifting battlefield as well, where you'll have to scavenge, fight and extract resources while facing rival players and environmental threats. The maps are also procedurally generated, meaning that no two expeditions will ever play the same, and it really forces you to adapt and strategize on the fly. The heart of it all though really is that walker, which you'll be able to upgrade and customize into a mobile base of survival and destruction. Sand is really shaping up to deliver a unique blend of construction, combat and high stakes survival, and I'm finally excited to try it out on our Xbox consoles. Next up, we have a very charming game, but with an incredible twist. TANUKI Pons Summer follows Pon, a lovable but lazy Tanuki who takes on a summer job delivering mail while trying to restore a shrine before the big festival. The catch though? Well, Pon would much rather be pulling off BMX tricks than sorting different letters. This game is set across 4 idyllic towns inspired by rural Japan, and the game looks to mix that sort of cozy exploration with fast-paced trick-based gameplay. You can do everything here, from riding rails, jumping rooftops, and even shredding through the environment to a crunchy hard rock soundtrack. Players who have gone hands-on with this one at Gamescom and other different preview events have said they spent more time shredding the hills than delivering mail, and that kind of is exactly the point of this experience. It's cozy gaming with a rebellious streak, and I'm kind of loving that cute and awesome stylization. It is also coming day one to Xbox Game Pass, and we're still due to receive it by the end of 2025. Well, this next game was a lovely surprise which I did come across when making this video. Ferocious is a survival FPS that's set to roar onto Xbox and PC by this winter. You basically wake up stranded on a deadly island where every corner is a fight for your life. From apex dinosaurs and mercenary hunters to hostile mechs and ever-shifting environments, every encounter is set to be pretty unpredictable and incredibly intense. Survival is of course as much about using your terrain to your advantage as it's kind of about managing your weapons and your gear. With open and mission-driven levels, Ferocious is all about focused intensity and multiple paths to accomplish your goals. It's survival chaos dialed up to 11, and I love seeing that we're getting more dinosaur games coming our way. If you're craving a game with some cozy vibes but with no tool-breaking frustration, then I need to bring to your attention Starsand Island, and it delivers just that, and it will be launching in Q4 of 2025. In this one, you basically escape the hustle and embrace island life by tending to your farm, fishing, raising animals, and learning the secrets of the friendly locals. It's very similar to games like Stardew Valley, but of course with a very different stylization. The art style, as you can probably see, is teeming with lots of warmth and charm, and it's inspired by gentle Japanese animation. The devs have also mentioned there's no micromanagement stress. That means your tools won't break, so you can actually bliss out on building and relaxing. Plus, you can invite your friends over to co-create your paradise together, so it looks like a great either solo or co-op experience. Starsand Island is the perfect slow-paced sanctuary, however this next game might be the most ambitious RPG that we've ever seen. Now, Chrono Odyssey is a next-generation action MMORPG that is still due to launch later this year across both PC and also consoles. You can think of it like seamless open-world exploration meets jaw-dropping Unreal Engine 5 visuals, all whilst wielding time-bending powers. You can even freeze enemies mid-air, levitate your foes, and manipulate chaos on the battlefield. This isn't just another grid fest. The closed beta actually ran this summer, letting eager players get a taste of its dynamic combat system and the sprawling world. I will say, it did get some pretty mixed feedback across the board, but the devs have already started implementing changes, which is great to see so bloody quickly. If you want a high-stakes fantasy adventure that plays with time itself, Chrono Odyssey is shaping up to be an unforgettable MMO experience. Just be sure to mark your calendar for the end of 2025. Forever Skies is an awesome looking futuristic survival game where Earth's surface has basically become uninhabitable and all that's left is a breathable sky. You and up to 3 friends will pilot a high-tech airship by scavenging ruins, crafting tools, and then forging a path to save humanity. Since its launch earlier this year over on PC, the developers have heard pretty much a lot of the feedback and are rolling out a lot of updates to fix repetitive gameplay, adding new biomes, and refreshing the world algorithm and deepening the exploration. Even so, it's got incredibly positive reviews over on Steam so far, with many basically stating it's a mix of Raft and Subnautica, and that sounds like a match made in heaven. If the idea of survival adventure with aerial freedom and a hopeful redemption narrative really does appeal to you, then keep your eye on this one. If you're actually looking for a deeply immersive survival action RPG, then Fera, the Sundered tribes might be the game for you later this year. After slaying a world-ending monster, your tribe crowns you as its leader, and then it basically becomes your job to rebuild civilization. You'll be able to do everything in this game from hunting colossal creatures to expanding your village. At your disposal as well, you will have many agile movement tools like tetherhook and glider wings, making it so much fun to dart around this beautiful world. Honestly, it's looking like a beautiful blend of Monster Hunter style battles, Valheim style community building, and a touch of leadership responsibility. I think this one might be one of the biggest hidden gems upon its launch, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below. Post-apocalyptic FPS Chernobylite 2 has steadily grown since its PC release earlier this year, and with that now comes an Xbox release which should be dropping onto our consoles pretty imminently. Yes, Chernobylite 2 Exclusion Zone has been revealed for consoles in 2025, with a team aiming to blend open world combat, crafting, team and base management, and a non-linear story into a compelling and realistic post-apocalyptic action RPG. The team has said that it's listened to a vast amount of feedback that's been gathered on the game since the PC launch, and then using that to improve the game prior to the Xbox release later this year. I'm really looking forward to trying out this sequel, as the first game is an absolute definition of a true hidden gem. Well, if you're still watching, you're clearly a massive Xbox fan. Remember to smash that like button if you did enjoy this video, and subscribe as we're aiming to hit that elusive 100,000 subscribers before the end of 2025. A big shout out as well to our incredible channel members for your awesome support on the channel, and if you're curious and want some extra perks such as member only chats, emotes, early access to videos and so much more, then do click that join button down below. Whilst here though, why don't you check out the video on screen now, as I covered Power Wash Simulator 2. I was given early access to this game, and you need to hear why I'm excited for this new Game Pass release later this year.